Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back. What's the slate? June 29th, Monday. So I promise you, I don't make clickbait titles. This was an actual win I posted. So I parlayed Garcia and Luke's, and there's kind of a funny story behind this as well. Maybe a little bit, maybe not for me. But anyway, so yeah, this hit, and a lot of people tailed, and I gave a smaller long shot list here, which if anyone's in my regular list, you can take them as well. But some people are this, round robin. So they had Holiday, Luke's, and is there someone else? Someone had three, I think. But yeah, Ruiz. Did Ruiz hit? I don't remember. I think Garcia had two. Yeah, Garcia had two. For some reason, I thought Ruiz hit, but yeah, Holiday hit. Obviously, Alonso was one of my top guys today. But yeah, it was nice to finally get something there, get on the board with a nice parlay, and then obviously Holiday hit. So nice single. I called Alonso. I called Josh Lau. Someone, Perry, one of my admins, asked me for a live bet, and I said I like Josh Lau, and he had a grand slam. And then the Sunday night game was terrible again. I wouldn't be mad if you just completely stopped picking the Sunday night games because they're like the Thursday night games for football. Not last year. Last year Thursday night games were good, but before that they were horrible. Like the years before that. I look most eagerly upon thy home run video coming. You're in it right now. It's my guy Noah, good guy. And yeah, so that was a nice win. So as you can see here, of course Stacy tailed it. She $17 paid over a grand. That's what's nice about these long shot parlays. Craven had 10 on it for 582. So yeah, looking good. This was a round robin. Garcia, Lukes, and Lee. So Leaf hit that. And then Irish hit this. He had 274 on it. So even $2 paid 170. So it's nice. So that's why it's fun to do these long shot parlays. I usually make like one, unless I see another, I might make two, but I typically make one long shot parlay a day, which is actually even more impressive because I made a bunch of chalk parlays and none of them hit. So there you go. It's actually kind of funny how that works. But obviously Andrew had a nice one here for almost $1,500, and CC of course tailed it as well. So good stuff. Obviously, a lot of other nice hits that were in here. I don't share all. I don't make all these. These are their own creations. Yeah, Spike likes. I did. Oh, I also mentioned Gary Sanchez as well, which a bunch of people put singles on. Uh, so yeah, it was a good day for me. Good calls. So hopefully this will carry over and I can get hot again on my picks, which are all free. My Discord is completely free. Obviously, my YouTube's free. If you want to become a member, you can. That's up to you. We call it a coffee supporter because I drink a lot of coffee from Starbucks, specifically the Nitro. All right, so let's go to the slate where we got. Oh, the funny story was, which I guess here, let me see if I can pull it up. I don't want to forget. I should have had this ready. My bad. But hey, we can just make a longer video. I can chill. You guys can chill with me. Psycho. I'm gonna pop open my own chat log. I am a jokester too. Don't worry about any sexual innuendos that I post here. That's just I am a silly goose. Anyway, it's gonna be hard to find. If I find a picture, maybe I'll post it. But I said so after Garcia hit, I said if Luke's hit, I'll do a face reveal. So I guess I have to do a face reveal now. I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll get like a web like a a cam for my videos and just do it full time. I eventually wanted to do that anyway. So if anyone wants to donate for it, they can. Just it doesn't have to be anything crazy, or I'll just go buy one and I can probably write it off or something. Because this technically is a business. I just yeah need to figure all that out. Anyway, so I guess we'll have to do that eventually, and let's go to the slate. So we're in Baltimore where the White Sox visit. And keep in mind, a lot of these teams are going to be traveling from today. Pretty much everyone plays on Sunday. And there's 13 games. So it's almost a full slate, which is 15 games. So there's only two less games than usual. I glanced at the weather, which looked good. Even because like this is a dome, so even we can ignore a lot of these. A lot of domes, like Toronto's a dome. Milwaukee's a dome, Houston's a dome, Arizona's a dome, Seattle's a dome. So lots of domes. So really, I mean, overall, the weather's really good. Look at Wrigley. Wrigley could be crazy tomorrow. Of course, if you can trust San Diego. Anyway, Baltimore looks good, 86 degrees, wind right to left. So we will, let's see, Baz versus Burke. So I actually don't really like picking against Baz that much. He's given up 9 in 94 innings, while Burke's given up 11 in 87 innings. So pretty comparable stats. It is a good game to target theoretically, just because it's a good park to hit at. But it's gonna be tougher to figure out aside from like if you want to go with Colson, and I do prefer lefties here as well. But Colson obviously would be a decent pick. Vargas is pretty hot too, so I don't mind Vargas. Other than that, I probably wouldn't go elsewhere on the White Sox. But you could certainly, if you see something you like, like some long shot, Gonzalez Peters, maybe even Braden Montgomery. Is that his name? You can consider that. Or Benintendi. I mean, really, I would consider Vargas, Benintendi, in Montgomery. And I know Montgomery's kind of cold right now, so he's harder to pick. But you can always put him in something, right? He hasn't hit in 10 days, which is pretty crazy for him. He was hot here. But of course, this was in New York, which is a good hitter's park. Detroit's not, Cleveland's not, KC is, but he didn't hit there. So he's just a little cold right now. And or no, that was at home. I'm sorry, that wasn't in KC. But now they hit the road, and they play worse on the road too. So keep that in mind. Their record on the road is 15 and 25, and they're over 500. They're 4 games over 500, which means their home record is really good if they're 10 games under 500 on the road. 28 and 14. That's a really big difference. That's something to really keep in mind. They do not play well on the road compared to home, as we've seen, and they have a lot of walk-off home runs too. So I'll actually stick with Vargas as my favorite just because he's the hot bat. But I understand if you want to take Colson Montgomery. And then for the Orioles, so I always say I prefer Henderson at home, which I do in this game. And then, of course, Petey. And like really the whole team, once again, they hit better at home, right? So Gunner, actually, I feel like Petey doesn't hit better at home, but I still like him. He was one of my favorites today, and he hit his first at bat. But I do like Basayo and Mayo. Mayo does tend to hit better at home, I feel like as well, and of course Holiday. So, I mean, the over/under's 9, so they do like the game to like be relatively high scoring, but this honestly feels like it could be bait. So I think I'll likely go light on this game, but I'll have something, just not a lot. More like Vargas and Alonso. And I'm not saying a same game parlay, just people that I like in the game. I don't know. I'm going to think about this one a little bit when I see the lineups tomorrow. But the Philadelphia game. So I like the Phillies a lot when they go home. This is also a very good hitters park. They think it'll go under 8.5. Nola has really struggled, as we know. Schwarber hit his 30th home run, so obviously Schwarber's going to be fine here. But we'll start with Pittsburgh, um, which obviously I like Belau. And then, so Reynolds has been streaky. So the hot bats are going to be Valdez. Callahan hit today. So if you want to try him back to back, I think it's okay if his odds are good enough. They're only 480. So is Valdez. I was going to say I like Valdez better. So, Lau and Valdez would be the ideal picks here, maybe even O'Hearn. But Pittsburgh does look really good here, considering how much Nola has struggled. And I'm sure some of these guys have probably faced him a lot in their careers because he's been in the National League the whole time. But for the Phillies, obviously, I always mention this, especially when they're at home. Harper, Schwarber, you can do the teammate parlay if you want to parlay them together. Stott's been heating up. I mean, this game overall looks really good. So I like this one a lot. So we'll go aside from the obvious. I think I'll actually stick with Valdez as my favorite pirate. I just like taking the hot bat. And then, I mean, the Phillies are the Phillies. So, Schwarber, Harper, whatever you're feeling, or just take them both and mix and match them in other parlays if that's your style. But obviously, a single is always good on them too. And we'll move on to New York. So the Yankees go home. They were kind of discussing them in my Discord today, and I just said, like, obviously they're missing like one of the best players in baseball. So naturally you're going to struggle. And I mentioned before that in the lineup, we're outside. When you remove that bat from the lineup, naturally their offense is going to regress. Right? So yeah. Weathers versus Mize. What we got here? Right to left. This game could also feel kind of. It should be good, but it could feel kind of bad. Mize is a good pitcher. Weathers is kind of hit or miss. But obviously we'd like Dingler, Vierling. I think Torque's okay. If you have FanDuel with the pinch hitter protection, I think Jones is fine if he plays. I feel like he hasn't played much more recently. That's probably because they've been more healthy. Yeah, he's got a lot of DNPs. So I don't know if he's going to play. Plus, he just kind of stinks. But the advantage of that is, let's say you can pick him at 680, and then Kerry Carpenter comes in, who would be like 360 in this game, but you're going to get these odds. So, I mean, that's a pretty nice thing to take advantage of, on FanDuel. So who do we like in this game? Obviously, I love Rice at home. I always like Belly and Jazz as well. But any lefty in this game against a righty is good. Obviously Weathers is a lefty, so it's gonna be harder to pick the Tigers lefties. You still could, like, you could still take Green if you really wanted to. I mean, obviously later in the game you can always hit as well, or you can just live bet him against a right-handed bullpen pitcher. But so we'll stick with Rice for sure, and then I always pick Belly at home as well. And if you want to try the classic Belly Jazz teammate parlay as well, you could. Maybe not in this game against Mize, but later in the series, it wouldn't surprise me if they both hit in the same game. Just because it's such a lefty hitter friendly park. Okay, and then any other Tigers? I mean, I do like Torque. I'm a little curious. In my last video, I mentioned a lot of like righties that don't hit very well off lefties. And I get it. Like a lot of people mentioned the sample size is much lower. But the discrepancy usually is enough to say like, 11-1 is pretty nuts, right? Like he just doesn't hit lefties very well. They don't get the power is basically what I'm trying to say. But I do agree. Like the sample size is huge too. 240 and 78. That's a difference in at bats. But still, like only one home run is kind of nuts. Granted, he has kind of had a down year. So if you want torque, that's fine because Yankee Stadium's so hitter friendly. But looking at stuff like that, I would rather go Dingler, even Green probably, since he will start against a lefty more than likely because Carpenter probably won't start in this game. Yeah, see, he's even got 2 home runs off lefties. Well, Torque only has one. Granted, he does have more plate appearances. So I don't know. Depending how you look at it, I'm not sure he had 4 total. So yeah, I would prefer Dingler, and obviously he's the hotter bat than Veerling. Veerling's a lefty specialist, so Veerling will definitely start in this game. So I'm cool with that. And then maybe Ben, this kid, Malgary, maybe get his first home run in this game for a long shot. Can give him a good look. Yeah, we'll stick with Dingler and Veerling, and yeah, Yankees are kind of against Mize. It's going to be tougher. Like Rice, I'm perfectly fine with these matchup proof, but it's going to be tougher against Mize. But you can still take some of them since it's such a good park to hit at. Then we go to Toronto. We got Manaya versus Trey. Man, the Blue Jays are kind of annoying to pick. It was nice that Luke's completed my parlay today, at least. That was good to see. Let's see. So on the Mets, obviously you can take Soto, maybe like Jared Young. I definitely would not go heavy on Mets as Trey's had a good year, although he has been struggling as of recent. So I'm perfectly fine if you want to take a few of them. It's just still the Mets stink, right? So I would rather not go heavy on them. For Toronto, though, I like Okamoto a lot. Speaking of hitting off lefties, I just want to see what the difference is. Yeah, he's got 5 and 14, but once again, a lot more at bats. He does have a higher OPS off lefties, so he does hit for more power technically, but that's just doubles, extra bases, and all that stuff. So yeah, I like Okamoto a lot here. If you want to torture yourself and pick Springer or Vladdy, feel free. I don't really pick them much anymore. I would rather have like Clement, maybe Kirk, and yeah, that's about it. So Clement, he's also like a lefty righty specialist, so it's a nice long shot there to pick against Manaya. But yeah, we'll just stick with the usual suspects here for now and move on. Cool. So we got Washington, the Nats versus the Red Sox, Mikolas versus Suarez. So I'm sure Mikolas will have an opener, lefty opener, blah, blah, blah. What do we got going on here? Very light wind. It is a little cooler out, 72 degrees. This is probably a game to go lighter on. Wood's really been struggling, but I wouldn't take him lefty lefty. Mead I like a lot here. Mead's easily my favorite Nat here, no question. Cruz is fine as well. And then what's his face? Garcia probably won't play here, lefty lefty. He might come in later. But Ruiz would probably be the sneaky long shot there if you want to try a long shot. But I would personally just go with Mead and Cruz. I'm trying to think if anyone else really. Young really only hits home runs off righties and at home, and plus he hasn't hit in a while, so definitely not on him. For Boston against, obviously against Mikolas, this is like take your pick. You can even take Yoshi if he leads off. I don't know if he will, but Rafi I prefer at home as well. Abreu's great. Contreras, Duran, Durbin, Siegler. I mean, really, you can take your pick with Boston here, specifically against Mikolas. If they have an opener that's a lefty, then you can stick. I mean, I would still put these guys in parlays if you want them to pregame, but you can always live bet later if you only bet singles. Like live bet the righties later. or the lefties, I mean, against Mikolas when he comes in. He does pitch better with the opener, though, which is annoying, but whatever. He's still a good target. So, obviously, so Mead would be my favorite on the Nats, and then, we'll just stick with Contreras as a safe play there, but I also like Abreu and Duran as well. So, pretty straightforward there. Then we go to Cleveland. We got Winston Santos versus Messick. Who the heck? So Tyler Alexander is probably going to be. Oh, he's the opener. Okay, so he's going to open, and he's a lefty. Yeah, it's always a lefty. So it looks like Winston Santos will be the main pitcher. He's recalled from Double A with a 7.44 ERA and a 58 to 21 K to walk ratio. He's going to walk a lot of players. That's what I'm seeing here. Um, Yikes. So yeah, Manzardo for sure. Wow, this is what happened to this team? Like I know Jose's hurt, but my goodness. I mean, Bazano would be fine. Maybe even Chase against this guy. I don't know. Has he even been playing? I feel like I haven't seen his name in forever. Guardians reinstated. Did he play today? Okay, so it looks like he's gonna play. So I'll like him for his return. I'm fine with that. I don't really pick him, but for his return, I like him against this Santos guy. So Bazana, Chase, Manzardo. I think Watson's fine here too. Or, Rocchio. Definitely not a game I'd go heavy on, but it looks like this kid will be a good target, especially if he walks several guys. It gets a bunch of guys on base and gives up like a 2, 3, 4, grand slam or whatever. Maybe we'll see that in our future. But my favorite for sure would be Manzardo, and then did I skip Texas? So Texas against Messick is going to be tough. Yeah. I probably won't have any Rangers. But what happened to Langford? Why isn't he listed? If Langford plays, I don't know why he's not listed. If Langford plays, he would easily be my favorite Ranger. So Langford and Manzardo in this game. I wonder why they don't have anyone listed there. It's also just not my favorite park to pick from too. It's not. It's nice though. Wind blowing out light, but nice weather though. So it's a good game to target in the aspect of weather. But I usually don't go heavy there. Okay. So Cincinnati and Milwaukee. So Nick Lodolo versus Robert Gasser. Let's see what we got here. Double lefty. Wow, my favorite. I'm so excited. What is going on here? We got to mention Warriors attempting. What does that even say? It says like Warriors are. I think they're attempting to get LeBron. I don't know what this says. The picture is cut off. I told Luce to fix it. Okay. Oh boy, Milwaukee. So two struggling pitchers for sure. This game does feel like it has bait written all over it, though. Dane Myers. I feel like I haven't seen his name in a while. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Steer as my favorite red here. If you want Stewart or Suarez, I get it. It's fine. But I'm gonna go Steer. And then for Milwaukee, probably just Churio. This team is just so confusing to pick from. If Gary Sanchez plays, I don't mind him when he starts. Like today, I liked him. So, I'm thinking just Churio here though. And, Contreras. You theoretically could do the Contreras brother parlay on this slate. I actually don't mind it. So feel free because this is a good matchup for him. He doesn't particularly hit a lot of home runs off lefties, but he's only got two in 92 at bats, plate appearances. But yeah, I mean, still a good target, so I think it's okay. And he could always hit off the bullpen as well. But That's all I'm gonna go with in that game. I don't really like this game too much. It has like written all over it like it's gonna be a bad, low scoring division rival game, you know, when we think it's gonna be high scoring just because of the high ERAs that the pitchers have, right? But Milwaukee's kind of hard to pick from, and Cincinnati's been struggling, so it just makes it a lot more difficult. All right, well, let's go to Chicago. Griffin Canning versus Imanaga. All right, so this is a very interesting game. I would pay attention to Canning to see if he actually starts. Sometimes I feel like they move him around, especially in a game where it's like, yeah, even this says to be determined. So there you go. And then even look at this. The over under is already listed here at 12, which I could see going to like 11 and a half possibly, or it could go up to 12 and a half. I don't know. Yeah, this has potential home run derby written all over it. Now, will it? Who knows? Imanaga does kind of step up sometimes in these like tougher environments, and he pitches really good games. So for the Padres, Machado for sure. I do like Andujar and France for sure as well. So I would actually go France first. I just like picking him this year. I don't know why. I picked him yesterday as a long shot and he hit. Let's pick him again. So, but also Machado. If you want Tatis, okay, sure. With the matchup, with the wind, okay, I won't hate you for it. Or be mad at you, I should say. I don't hate anyone, you know me. Maybe this Taylor kid, maybe, but yeah. Even Merrill, I mean, it's lefty lefty, but I don't care. I think Merrill could hit a home run here. So obviously, this entire game looks good. This is like the best looking game on the slate, along with probably like the Philly game. But for the Cubbies, you know, obviously Pete's going to be, his odds are going to be shot too. The odds are going to be extremely low in this game. Just keep that in mind as well, because they know this is baked into the over 12, you know, the wind. So you can go Petey, you know, Bush, Suzuki, Hap. This is a Nico Horner type game where I would pick him. So he will be in a long shot. First of all, put him in a single, please. But I will put him in a long shot parlay tomorrow. I'll probably make multiple long shot parlays. So like Nico and say um hmm, it would be maybe like Holiday. But I'm thinking someone from this game, like Rincones or Rodriguez. If he starts, he's a catcher, so we don't know if he's starting. So I'll probably pick someone from this game. If I see something else in these other games I really like, you know, like Siegler could be a good option. Maybe Durbin. Actually, Durbin would be good too. So Durbin, Horner, you know, I think that would be a good option as well. But, you know, extremely long shot odds. So just keep that in mind. But his odds will be lower than normal. I wouldn't be surprised with like 650 or something like that, you know. So we'll go France and I'll just say Picaro just because for the favorites in that game. And then we'll go to Houston. I feel like they've been on the road for a while, but now they're back home against Zebby. I think they faced Zebby earlier in the year. Twins versus Astros. Okay, so Zebby versus Lambert. So obviously you can take Buxton any day. Clemens is heating up. I would probably just say just take Buxton for Minnesota here. But if you want to take Clemens or long shot like a Lee, that's fine. But Lambert actually isn't that bad, so that's kind of what I'm getting at. He's actually a pretty good pitcher. Let me see how many home runs he's given up. 7 in 68 innings. So he's been pretty good. I think they faced him earlier this year, didn't they? Let's see. Joe Ryan. Yeah, there's Zebby. So what happened in this game? Oh, Paredes. Paredes hit the only home run in this game, but this was in Minnesota as well. So obviously I like Paredes. Ha ha ha. Bum, 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 bum. So yeah, Buxton. I mean, Buxton can take any day, so it's like I don't really have to tell you guys that. How solid he's been. Even Caratini's been pretty good lately, so you can go with someone like that. I think did he used to play for Houston? Yeah, he played Houston for a couple seasons. Damn, my memory is on point sometimes with these where they used to play. That's the baseball almanac in the brain there. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Buxton for Houston here, and then for I'm sorry for the Twins, and for Houston. I mean, I know Alvarez is a little chilly right now. Let me see the last time he hit a home run. 23rd, so 5 days ago. I mean, whatever. You can take Alvarez, obviously. Obviously, Paredes hit one off Zebby earlier in the year, so take him. Walker hit one late today. So all those guys are fine. And honestly, the long shots on this team, like Trammell, Smith, they're kind of hitting here and there. So if you want to try some singles on them, that's fine too. Assuming they play. Let's see what odds we're looking at here. Look how low Alvarez and Buxton are. Yeah, see, even Cam is down to 560. Bryce Matthews is a decent pick too if he plays. So yeah, decent looking game. Diaz is down to 600. So okay looking game. Nothing crazy though. I could see that game being pretty low scoring as well. Wouldn't shock me. Warriors attempting to trade for Anthony Davis using Jimmy Butler and plan to sign LeBron James. What the hell? Okay, whatever. they're they're all dinosaurs now. Like, I mean, AD isn't really a dinosaur, but he's just always hurt. So I don't know. Doesn't really scare me. Granted, my Suns suck anyway. And then they just traded for a abuser today. So there's that. Okay, off to Colorado. Oh, we're back in Colorado. Okay. Well, this has been like the most bait stadium of the year, aside from Anaheim. So the wind blowing out 14 miles per hour, so that looks good. We got Alcantara versus Sean Sullivan. So I like Otto Lopez. I like Hernandez a lot here. Ruiz looks good. Then if you want to go with some of the long shots like Sonoja, who the heck is this guy? Okay, he's played a little bit in the majors. He has one home run, and he didn't hit many home runs at all in the minors. So, wow, since 2013, this guy's been in the minors. Holy crap. He's 31 years old. Well, Brian, I hope you hit a home run in this game. That's all I'm going to say. I really hope he hits a home run in this game. I mean, you could take him. I'm not going to say no if his odds are good enough too. But he's definitely not a power hitter. So, Stowers is okay too. I don't think he hits lefties particularly well. He's got one so far this year, 48 at bats. So, yeah, I'd rather go. Edwards is okay too. It's kind of like a Nico Horner situation where it's like, we usually prefer him at home, which what he was doing earlier in the year. But in this game, give him a whirl. But yeah, we'll go. Hernandez is the favorite for the Marlins, and then I do like the other guys I mentioned like Lopez, Ruiz, Leo Jimenez is okay. He's just I don't know. This guy just isn't very good. That's all. So I probably wouldn't take him if he plays. Okay, then for the Rockies, I mean, I guess if you want to go McCarthy, feel free. He is hitting for whatever reason. He figured out how to hit home runs. He's got 6 on the year, which isn't a lot, but still, he's a good long shot. Mickey hopefully can get on the board since he's come back, and obviously Goodman is scorching hot. Um, Other than that, I would probably consider Tovar as a long shot here, as he tends to hit better at home. But Sandy isn't like a terrible pitcher, so we also have to keep that in mind. Like I could see this game being a little lower scoring than you would expect, but Marlins are chippy and they'll hit a lot of singles and doubles and score runs that way if they don't hit home runs. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good game to target though. At the same time, with the wind blowing out too. So we'll go. I'm gonna go with Mickey and Hernandez in this one for my favorites. I wish they would have the odds listed. It would kind of make my brain think better on who to pick. Okay, well, they have this game listed last, but I guess FanDuel wants me to pick it now. Male versus Rodriguez. Rodriguez has been great. I'm not going to take any Giants here. He really hasn't been giving up much, and he's 6-2 with a 2.270. Or I think people are underestimating how good of a year he's having. So I'm gonna skip Giants. If you want to pick Devers, whatever. It's lefty lefty, but obviously Ramos is back. But obviously, even Barracodo has been kind of random. He's been hitting, but maybe Chapman or Adames, more preferably Adames. But I'm not going to take any Giants here. For the D-backs against Mali, this is fine. So I definitely like Marte, who's heating up. Perdomo's a good long shot here. Carroll for sure. Maybe Kepler for his first of the year. And yeah, so it looks good. The D-backs look good here against Mali. I'm fine with that. Let's see what the odds are. They're there. Kepler. Mercado is 830 and Perdomo's 900. Perdomo could be one you could parlay with Horner as well if you want, or do a round robin with the other guys I mentioned, the other long shots I mentioned earlier. Could be a sneaky round robin long shot day. This is what it's looking like here, even though Perdomo's not hitting like he was last year. He doesn't have that power anymore for some reason. All right, so now we got to go backwards to this game. Man, they really want me to go backwards. All right. Ryan Johnson versus Kirby. Yikes, Seattle. We're back in Seattle, boys and girls. How do we feel about this? Not good. I do like Canzone. I think Cal's okay if you want to take him. Cole Young is okay as well, and Crawford. I do like Crawford at home. So long shot Crawford. Canzone is my main guy for Seattle. Wow, that was a good hiccup. And I didn't pick Angels for a reason because I don't really like them here. So, um, if you guys like them, feel free and take someone, but I'm not going to take them. So we'll move on. They're already a bad enough team. I don't need to chase. I don't need to chase a team like that at a bad park for hitting. So that's just how I think about it. And there's plenty of other games you can pick from here. All right, back to Sacramento, which is always fun to pick from as well. So Sacramento and Wrigley will probably be the top tier games here. 90 degrees, high over under, and then of course we have Lar versus Jump. And Jump's been pretty good though. Granted, it is the Dodgers in Sacramento, so obviously this game will be like a pick 'em, take your pick type thing. Obviously Otani's good. Pages has fallen off the face of the earth. What happened to this guy? This is kind of like in the playoffs where he just forgot how to hit home runs. Wow. His last two were sixth and the ninth. 6-9? What? Sheesh. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I think he's okay here. It's just been a while. Obviously, I'm going to take Shea here. So Paz is 350. Freddie can hit lefty, so he's fine. Mookie's hot. I like Mookie a lot here, actually. Don't sleep on Mookie. Looks like Teoscar is going to be back too, so I definitely like him. I think Edmonds okay. It's just he hasn't been hitting home runs. He did have a good game. It was either today or yesterday. He had like a double and a triple or something. I don't know. So he's hitting. He's just not hitting home runs. So this game overall, once again, looks really good. Especially the Athletics here. I actually like them a lot against Lar because he's really struggled. People keep taking these random guys and lead off. Who was it? Was it Bolte today? Let me check. I would see, yeah, Bolte. I would stop picking these guys. At least in these situations against who was it? Aldegary. I don't know. I think in this game he's okay because he's got home, very good hitter's park against a struggling lefty. But even at that, I still don't really want to pick him here. I'd rather Shea be leading off, but that's just me. Um, so Kurtz is fine. Even Colby Thomas is fine. Max Muncy. You know, the funny thing here is you can go Muncy. The problem is it looks like the other Muncy isn't even listed. So we might have to do a Muncy parlay, same game parlay here. Max Muncy, but I don't see him listed here, so I don't know if he's playing. Who else? Oh, I was gonna say Meneses too. Is a good long shot. I think he's a good long shot here if he plays righty lefty. But yeah, I mean, once like I said, once again, it's like a wait for the lineup. I know we might have to pregame early some parlays before the lineup comes out because it's a late game. But you know, if you want to do singles, I would wait for the lineups. Is that it? Did I skip any games? Sometimes I skip game. No, I think we're good. Cool. So once again, I think this first game might not be very good. It looks okay on paper, but I don't think it's going to be that good personally. I think the Phillies look good. Actually, the Pirates look really good here. But this game overall looks good. This game also kind of looks like bait than the Yankee game. But you could certainly take some righties on the Tigers. And then I like the Red Sox. The Guardians look pretty good here against this new guy. The the Cincinnati Milwaukee game should be good, but I don't feel good about it. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, the Cub game looks really good. The Athletic game looks really good. The Rocky game has potential, and the Diamondbacks look good here as well. So there's a lot of good targets. You know, I'll post my picks roughly 3, 4 Eastern time, which is 12 noonish for me. I'm on West Coast, you know, give or take. But I'll be at work when I post these picks, so just keep that in mind. I might be a little busy. Uh, cool. So, anyone has any questions? Feel free to message me. I get quite a few DMs. I remove a lot of them just because it gets to be a lot. But if you have any questions, let me know, and we will have a good time. Right? Do do. All right. Well, y'all have a great day and a good night, and I'll see you later. Peace.